Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to DaneMellowsTalks. This is Talking Point, and it is actually the second episode of the return of the comeback. But it is the one where I'm gonna reintroduce the podcast. I'm gonna tell you what's been going on. I'm gonna tell you why we've had a break. I'm gonna tell words are not wording. I'm gonna tell you what is gonna be coming up on the podcast from the exciting new guest. That we're going to be having on, and a very exciting guest that you would have already seen if you've been following the podcast last week. I took some time off doing the podcast purely because I'd moved. I've now completely left Hull. I was there for 4 years, 3 of them as a student, 1 working for the university. You know, time there, absolutely loved it, but that period of my life now is finished, completo. I'm on the bus stops over there, so I feel like I've got to go somewhere else now. What am I doing now? I've got a job back home doing some marketing, really enjoying it. I've got the podcast now to work on. I've got radio, which I'm going to be circling back to. As of late, what have I been up to? Traveling. That's the main reason why I took the break, because I needed to prepare so much for traveling, which took up a lot of May, and obviously all of that was all moving back from Hull as well, and all the other stuff that was going on. But a lot of it was, you know, preparing for traveling, planning, because I went interrailing. Me and Abby, my girlfriend, went interrailing around Europe. Absolutely amazing, had a great time. We went Amsterdam, Brussels, Paris, Nice, Milan, Venice, all that was trains. Flight then to Barcelona, Madrid, flight back up. So that was absolutely amazing, had a quality time. If you want me to do a little bit of a breakdown for a full podcast episode, I might just do that anyway, actually. I might do that, go through like some pros and cons, some high moments, some low moments from every single place, how we did it, how much it costs, sort of stuff like that. Let me know if that's something that you would want to see. So I had a great time doing that, really enjoyed that. Get back, starting work, to be honest, June, so that was all of June. May I've been preparing for it for about a year, but May preparing, June actually doing it, July getting back into the swing of things, and it's now the 31st of July, which means tomorrow is my birthday, and this podcast will be going out on the 6th of August, which means I'm going to be hungover, and to be honest, that is something that we could talk about maybe in a future episode, actually. A little bit about drinking, maybe a bit about not drinking, see what it's all about, but we've got enough to talk about in that anyway. But yes, it was my birthday tomorrow, which actually we'll touch on for a second. Because a few people have said to me, well, how do you feel about turning 22? I'm 21 currently, 22 when this episode will go. How do you feel about turning 22? I'm not really that bothered. It's honestly never bothered me one bit. Being 21, I felt like I'm 22 already. That's what I keep saying. When people say, how do you feel about turning 22? I'm like, it's alright, yeah. Then it clocks in my head, I'm 21 now. And then I don't know, when you see something, like I don't know, it sounds a little bit bonkers, but when you see the number 21, or when I see the number 21, I see it and I'm a bit like, I'm not 21. I know that sounds proper strange, and oh well, but yeah, I don't feel like I'm 21, even though I am 21. So that's the message I'm trying to portray here. It's never really bothered me getting older. It's just, to me, it's just a number, and I know a lot of people that I'm close with get like a little bit in the head about, I'm getting older. It's another year closer to death, or whatever they say. I don't even know the phrase. Whatever they say about that, just getting older. Like, well, if you just think like that, you're just always going to be old. Like, you're old now, then realistically. I just don't think about it. Just don't let it bother me. It don't bother me now. It's never bothered me really in the past. Once you're 17, you can drive. Once you're 18, you can get drinks. Once you're 21, you can do whatever you want in America. Well, to a certain extent. But yeah, so that's the update on the old birthday. The old turning 22. What else is going on? I mentioned I'll circle back to the radio sort of stuff. I'm back on radio, and this time it's not student radio, it's not jam radio over in Hull that I've been doing for a few years, where I've also been jumping into the studio there. They were not happy about that. There was some emails that were sent around saying, listen, Dane's not a student anymore, can he stop using our studio? Might have used it a couple of times then. So I'm off of jam now. Absolutely wish them the best. Yeah, right now I am going to be starting in 2 days' time, on Tuesday, as this comes out on the Sunday, Cheshire's Mix 56, Naughty's Hits, on Tuesday nights, 8 till 10. I will be live on Cheshire's Mix 56, soon to be on DAB. So you'll be able to listen to me like this in your car. How mad is that? yeah, so I'm really, really looking forward. So I've got so much planned for the show. We're going to be doing stuff. I don't want to give too much away because I've not really said it anywhere yet. But we're going to be doing some sort of stuff like guess the noughties icon. So I'm going to be giving you clues throughout the show. Basically, I want to get as much listener interaction in my show as possible. That's my goal, because when I listen to radio, I always message in and I'm trying to get myself involved and trying to get the presenter to have like some sort of a conversation with me or like acknowledge the message that I've sent. That's the sort of stuff I want. I want people to be messaging in and emailing in and texting in and sending us messages on social media, on the radio's channels and all stuff like that, to try and get involved with the show, to make it the people's show. That's what we want at the end of the day. I've been doing some outside broadcasts with them at the moment. We're doing a lot to prepare for the show. I've actually done 2 secret midnight shows. At this point, I've only done 1, but by the time this comes out, we've done 2 secret midnight shows. And when I say secret, they have gone out on air, so if you've been listening, then you would have heard them. But I stay secret because I've not advertised them anywhere. They're my sort of test shows. I've done like 2 little test shows for 2 hours. The one that I did first was just a complete, let's get used to the system, let's see what comes out, let's see what songs I play. I ended up playing a massive mix, like a ridiculous, if there was a theme, it wasn't there. And then I started to do some little bit of noughties tracks at the end to be like, okay, next time you hear my voice, it'll be noughties. But I'm actually going to do on this Thursday night as well. I'm going to do an hour of 80s, an hour of 90s. So then the next time you hear my voice on the station will be noughties. So that'll be really cool. Back to the podcast. So I've just had a really, really cool chat with Nick Minns, who is a mental health advocate. He's got his own podcast, the Bearded Podcast, sorry. And he's based around Hull, so that's how I've got his details and stuff like that. But yeah, so we had a really nice chat with him about such important topics at the moment, like mental health, like dealing with depression, anxiety, and, stress and worries about everything. His advice on moving forward from that. So that's a really cool episode coming out next week. But the one that came out last week was with Ed Wade, which is probably one of my favorite episodes. I was around filming it at my girlfriend's, and I said, I'll probably be down in like 20 minutes, half an hour, because that's sort of the length I want to move the podcast episodes to now. And I said, the only reason I'll be any longer is if we're having like a really, really good chat. I think I was down about an hour and a half, almost 2 hours later, because we just kept going on and on and on. But I don't like ending those episodes there. Some episodes, it does naturally come to, okay, we spoke about what we want to speak about. But yeah, Ed was such a nice guy. Big up Ed, if you're listening to this. And if you've not listened to the podcast already, then definitely go and have a look at that one. It's all about his role in the Flash film, because he played Ezra Miller's double in the Flash. So obviously, there was 2 of the Flashes in there. They both had Ezra's face, but one of them was Ed's body, and it was his acting and everything. It was just Ezra then CGI'd onto his face later on. So that was really, really cool. The podcast is now going to be branded as TalkingPoint. So it's going to be DaneMellowsTalks, but this is TalkingPoint. And the reason for that is because I've tried to do a few different things in the past with the podcast, such as like Beer in a Mug, where I wanted to kind of make it like a regular thing, but then, and then I've also done like the Spotify exclusive episodes, but then now getting into it with work and how busy I am at the moment with things like radio and work and here, there and everywhere. I want to make sure that I can commit to what I put out there. So once a week on a Sunday is going to be the new schedule. 2 p.m. as when this one's coming out. If I do some stuff like Beer in a Mug, where I might just have one, and maybe we'll do like a bit of a film review and stuff like that. So really exciting stuff. I'm really looking forward to where we can take this podcast this year. We're gonna proper pump our effort into the clips now. So if you see clips if you see the clips on TikToks or YouTubes or Instagram Reels and stuff like that, then just please like and comment on them and share them, because it'll massively help. Rate us 5 stars on Spotify, and if you are watching this on YouTube and you've not liked and subscribed, then please do, because that'll massively help it out. So I'm really looking forward to what we can do with this now, and that is my little update. So like I say, we might go into some maybe a beer in a mug in the future, maybe a nice little beer in a mug on a little film review. We've got Barbie and Oppenheimer. We've got Loki. The trailer for Loki has just come out now. Secret Invasion has just ended. Now that's a conversation and a half on itself. So obviously that's all sorts of stuff I'm interested in. If there's anything that you're interested in that you want to hear me talk about, or you want to have a bit of conversation, maybe we could jump on a Zoom call, do a beer in a mug, me and you. How fun would that be? So I'm up for all stuff like that. I think it'll be really good, and I'm really looking forward to getting back into things with the podcast now. I'm back from traveling, getting back into the swing of things. Really looking forward to it. Thank you very much for listening. Like I say, 5 stars on Spotify, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, share it round. Let's see the clips going up. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next week.